My Genius Hour presentation. How may I create an eyewear device to allow humans to see visible objects within a dimly lit area? By Max Chu, period 4. My question. I chose this question for many reasons. The main reason was that I was simply interested in how and what technology was used to make people see in the dark. I also did this because I thought it would be cool to use this device at night when I would go camping. Delays and hardships. During this project, I experienced and overcame many issues in my project. One problem I encountered was when I was putting together the materials of my device, I had to hold the glue in place until it dried, which would often take a while. Another problem that I encountered was the shipping of my materials. Even though I had Amazon Prime, it took several days for the materials to arrive. My device, the description. As you should know by now, I have created a device that allows you to see in the dark. This device is a form of eyewear that you must hold up to your eyes. It weighs approximately 1.24 pounds and is easy to use. It is made from very cheap materials that add up to less than $20. I will describe these materials in the next slide. My device, the materials. In my device, I used only 5 materials. The first 2 and most important materials I used were a dashboard camera and a magnifying glass. These 2 items were not in my household, so I had to order them from Amazon. The link to these materials is to the right. The other 3 materials were infrared lens that I got from a children's book, cardboard that I retrieved from recycling, and finally, glue. My design. My design was not very complicated and only took me a few minutes to assemble with the proper materials. First, I removed the plastic lens from the magnifying glass and glued cardboard around the edges of the lens as shown in step 1. Then, I shaped the cardboard into the form of a cylinder with the lens in one side. Next, I put the camera screen on the side opposite from the lens like shown in step 2. How it works. The way my device allows you to see in the dark is not very complicated. The basics of the design is that you are looking at a camera screen which will show objects in the dark. So, first of all, I had to make the camera screen see in the dark, so I glued 6 small infrared lights around the camera lens to reflect green and red lights on the camera view. With these infrared lights, the camera display is slightly tinted, allowing the camera to show objects in a dimly lit area. Society. My device cannot really contribute to society considering that there are higher technology see-in-the-dark devices that have been created. Although my device could be used for going to battle when fighting at night during a war, they already have high-tech night vision goggles, which see much further and clearly than mine do. How may my device connect to science? My device can connect to science in many ways. For example, when I had to use the green and red lights to make the camera see in the dark, I was using engineering skills. Engineering skills applied to many other points in my project, like the magnifying glass next to the screen, and many other factors. So, this project mainly improved my science engineering skills. What I learned. In this project, I learned many things, like how a lens can reflect off a camera lens to see objects in the dark. I also learned that you cannot see an object directly in front of your eyes, which is why I had to put the magnifying glass in front of the camera screen. Thank you for listening to my Genius Hour project.